Hey guys, what's going on? It's Don here from Novaspirit Tech, and Christmas came a little early for us Raspberry Pi users. That's because Steam officially dropped their SteamLink application for the Raspberry Pi. That's what we're going to be checking out today, so let's get started. So if you guys didn't know, SteamLink is an actual hardware piece where Steam offers where you could actually stream your desktop game to a TV or another display device. And over the times when they released it, I don't think it was doing that well. That's why they're actually dropping support for it. And this month, or November, was the last time you could now get it. They're discontinuing the whole product line. They're selling it for $2.50, and you might still be able to get it now. I'm not really too sure, but yeah, they're dropping support for it. And what that means is it's essentially going to still work for everything we need to do, but I don't know if they're going to be coming out with more updates for it. It might just be a paperweight, or the only thing it's going to be useful for is making the thumbnail on this video. What came out of this is software that supports the Raspberry Pi, which means now we could install SteamLink on our Raspberry Pi and do what this hardware piece was doing. I rather like this idea because I've been doing this with Moonlight. Here's a video link if you want to see that. That's basically doing the same exact thing, but I was playing around with this software and it's a little bit smoother than Moonlight itself. To install this application on our Raspberry Pi, it is super simple. First, you have to obviously install Raspbian onto an SD card and then load the Raspberry Pi with it. Next thing you know, there's just two little commands. The first one is to download the actual software with wget, and that's what I like to use. They suggest curl, but I'm using wget to get the software. Then using this command to install it. After that, it'll actually make a desktop icon and also an icon in your menu. As soon as you open it, you just link it to your computer with like a 4-digit code. Your desktop would have to type it in. And that's it. You're basically all set up. From there, we could test out whatever we want. The game I'm going to be testing out is Monster Hunter World, and also in both Wi-Fi and LAN, just to show you guys the differences. All right, so here I'm testing out the game Monster Hunter using Wi-Fi. And if you could see the background, it's pretty smooth. I'm not seeing any hiccups or anything yet. So I'm just going to start a quick game. If you guys ever play this game, hit me up in the comments below. I actually been playing this a lot and it's a lot of fun. You know what's another game that I want to start playing? It's called X4 Foundations, I believe it's called. And it just came out on November 30th, and it's something that I'm very interested in playing, but I heard it's very buggy. And I kind of want to, you could say, stream it. All right, so as you're walking through the town, or as I'm walking through the town, you can notice that there is a slight hiccup or a slight lag to it, which I think only occurs if you're using Wi-Fi. So I don't recommend using Wi-Fi on playing these games. What I'm going to go do right now is just hop into Training Grounds. Yeah, there's a slight lag. I don't know if you guys could see it. I am doing a capture to this right now. Let's see. Yeah, there, look at that lag. So there is significant amount of lag depending on scenery. If there's a lot of movement or a lot of change of pixels, you will notice definitely a lag on Wi-Fi. So what I'm going to do is light this barrel on fire first. Boom. Boom. All right. I'm going to get out of this and test out Ethernet version and see if it's a lot smoother. Yes, go back to my room. Okay, here we see it's so much smoother just walking through town using Ethernet. It's obvious because, you know, you're getting more bandwidth out of it, but it's significant. Like before, once it changes like a huge scenery using Wi-Fi, you would feel the little bit of hiccup. I'm going to go back to the Training Grounds and do what I was just doing before and see if there's any lagging issues. I mean, it makes a huge difference. In all honesty, I believe that this app is actually running 1080 at 60 frames per second. I believe that's what the specs are. So let's try this Dragon Piercer. Yeah, I didn't get any lags from that. So let's go back over here. Yeah, no lagging. Grass is still moving really nicely. Let's light this on fire. Audio works. I just have it really low. Actually, the HDMI capture should be capturing it. Ah, it seems very smooth, very responsive, even on the mouse. What happened to a game like an actual game and see how I do? I'm not on my standard, keyboard and mouse, so it feels a little funny just trying to play this. Oh man, stop focusing on the... So not used to this keyboard command. Come on, come on. Get up there. Aw, missed completely. Hoping to hit through them. That's what this Dragon Piercer does. It pierces through them. Oh, hello. Got this. There you go. All two. No. Ow. Alright, I gotta get out of this brawl. Got my thunderproof. There you go, killed one. Maybe I should recover some health. Got him. All right. That wasn't too bad. There was no lagging. I didn't feel like there was any sluggishness at all during that battle. Like, yeah, it wasn't too bad. I could definitely see the quality where it becomes blocky, but ultimately it actually plays really smooth. Okay, in my honest opinion, I don't like to stream games. I don't mind streaming anything else like the desktop and stuff like that, but streaming games I think is just, it doesn't make sense to me, because if I'm going to play the game and play the game how it's supposed to be, I'll play it on the actual desktop it's streaming from, because I got the gaming keyboard, gaming mouse, the better screen on there, and I don't have the blocky streaming lag, you could say, on it. I get it. I see how you could play an RPG game on like a bigger screen and it'll be fine. But anything that has to do with like first person shooters or strategy games like Dota or something like that, that latency will kill you. So I would use it probably almost never. That's how come mine is still in its box. Like the SteamLink, I bought it last year. I've never opened it. It's the only time I opened it was literally for this. Another thing I see this being popular on is, say, RetroPie with SteamLink, or even, you know what, RetroPie with the monster joystick and SteamLink. That way you could play like Street Fighter 5 or something like that on your monster joystick, or Raspberry Pi with the 5-inch screen or 3-inch screen, and then one of those cell phone Bluetooth controllers. Yeah, that's a pretty good combination if you wanted to have your games on the go and you don't mind that. If you're playing RPGs, it's fine. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you guys got any questions about this, hit it up in the comments below. And I also just started using the YouTube stories, and I'm trying to use the comments more, you know, the where you could just post like little posts. Yeah, anyway, continue following the channel, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon so you know when you get those updates. And as I say in my nerd cave, hack till it hurts.